What's going on, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting at Bellator 295 on April 22nd. Pleased today to be joined by Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. Ilima-Lei, thanks for being here. Appreciate the time.
Hey, what's up, John? Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem at all. And before we get into any of this here for Bellator 295, I want to actually back up to your last fight here to start things off because what an important win for you in your career. You were riding a losing streak. Just how important was it to get that win just mentally for you? Because I'm sure it had to be like a big monkey off the back.
I mean, not really. Because honestly, it was a bittersweet win because I did miss weight. And in my eyes, I mean, if you miss weight, you lose. It's a loss already. So while I did get my hand raised, I just felt like it wasn't deserved. And I'm very hard on myself for that weight miss. I think it stems from my wrestling coach. He would always tell us that it's a sin to not make weight. So yeah, that's the only thing. If I had made weight, then yes, oh yay, I made it, but no, didn't.
Well, then for this time around, is there anything maybe I know obviously you've made weight so many times throughout your career, you're always very professional with it. Is there something that you do differently this time around, maybe so you don't run into a problem like that? Or was it just kind of like a fluke thing? I know, especially being a female too, I know females have a lot tougher cutting weight. I don't think people realize that it's a lot harder cutting weight as a female than it is for males.
Yeah, and we know exactly what happened. I actually was in urgent care the day before we left for South Dakota because my mouth was throbbing so much and I didn't know what was going on. And it turns out that I had two infected teeth that timing wise, like, of course it waits till literally fight week to like, be like, okay, we're here, so I had two infected teeth and they had me on antibiotics, which fuck you up for, oh, sorry, which mess you up for, messes your body up, especially if you're trying to cut weight. And then on top of that, my body's trying to fight the infections of the teeth. So I just knew that my body was shutting down. And it was, yeah, it was definitely a health issue. It wasn't like me not doing the cut right or anything. It was literally my body just like, no, it's not going to happen this time. We have other shit to do. So I think in that sense, it was a fluke. And learning lesson, definitely don't wait or delay on getting your guys' teeth looked at. Because yeah, I mean, I've always had like an achy tooth, but I never got it checked out, and then that shit happens. So definitely don't delay that, or prolong the inevitable.
All right, so I know you're upset with the whole entire weight cut thing the last time, but I still want to ask this question just because you were able to snap the losing streak there, because it's something that I found very interesting. So I'm sure you can see behind me with the Green Bay Packers logo. I'm a big Packers fan. Aaron Rodgers last year is still quarterback, and he's about to be a Jet, but whatever. Anyway, the Packers were on a losing streak last year, and when Aaron got asked about it, he said, if we could just win one of these, I think we could turn this all around. All it takes is just one to change the mindset of everybody in the team, and we're going to be a lot better going forward. Well, they finally get that win, snap a losing streak, go on a run. They ended up just missing the playoffs, but still, they went on an incredible stretch at the end of the year. Can you relate to that? Do you feel the same way? Once you get that one, like it kind of resets everything, and you're able to start a run of your own now?
Man, I don't know. I think like my run happened. Like I had a great run. I was like what 11 fights undefeated. Like even my amateur career I was undefeated. So I'm just like, I mean, I already feel like I had my run. And if it in a way my career is like backwards from a lot of other fighters, where they face adversity in the beginning and then come back, and mine was like kind of the opposite. Like I achieved all the highest goals and like did everything in the beginning of my career, and now I'm just like cruising and having fun. And so yeah, that's a question that I actually have been asked, is that, yeah, like where is my mindset at right now? And I'm like, I actually, I feel like I'm in a phase of my life, I'm in a chapter of my life and career, where it's like, am I allowed to just fight for fun and enjoy the process and not have this like crazy pressure or monkey on my back that's like, you need to get the belt again. It's like, is it okay if I don't have that desire? And I do want to have fun fights. I want to fight in my hometown. I want to fight across seas in a foreign territory. Like I want to have fun fights that are fun matchups that aren't going to be boring, and just finish out my contract friggin' having fun and not having that pressure. So I don't know. Kind of went off a tangent right there, but I think that's where my mind's at right now.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that too. I've talked to several fighters who have said stuff similar to that too, where it's like they were always worried about the other stuff and just forgot to go out there and have fun. So I'm sure it's a great way how to look at it. I know it's worked for a lot of fighters in the past too, of just going out there and having fun and getting those matchups, like you said, that are fun and entertaining for the fans and for yourself. And I'm sure this is going to be a fun one too, because I know you're going to Hawaii. So let's get into some of the fight specifics now. Training camp just about wrapped up here. How was camp?
Yeah, camp was great. This was the first camp that I've had in about 4 fights that was very grappling focused, which was nice because that's my roots. My foundation is grappling. I was a wrestler growing up, and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, so that was really nice being able to return to that because quite honestly, I couldn't the last few fights because of my knee. It just was not ready to do all the rubber guards and everything. So now that my knee was healthy, finally was able to do a lot of wrestling and grappling this camp, which was really nice and a lot of fun for me. So yeah, camp's great. My weight is exactly where, like literally to the ounce, it's exactly where it was a year ago against Justine Kish, which I like to compare that weight cut because that was actually a really easy weight cut for me, and I made weight. So yeah, weight's good, everything's good. And as always, I'm doing all my other side projects at the same time, like my walkout, my fight shirts, fight week media outfits, like stuff like that. And yeah, it's all coming together.
All right, good stuff. Let's talk about the opponent now here a little bit. Just tell us, what you've seen out of her as you've been scouting her, and kind of how you see this fight playing out on fight night.
Yeah, so Kana Watanabe, amazing judoka specialist. She pretty much dictates where the fight goes, which is to the ground. That's where she wants it to go. And so yeah, her wrestling is really good. She's able to take down all of her opponents except for her one loss where, she lost on the feet. But aside from that, like she has a hell of a chin on her. Like she's been rocked in every single one of her fights and then somehow just grabs hold of the head and freaking takes them down. So I think that she's definitely going to want to try to go to the ground. That's where she's strongest at. However, she hasn't gone against like a grappler like me. She hasn't gone against another ground specialist. So that's where it's going to be interesting. It's like I think whoever can land on top is going to be the one that dictates this fight and gets the win.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the fight. Can't wait for it. Just another thing about this fight before we start wrapping things up here today. It's in Hawaii. I know that's special to you. Just how much are you looking forward to fighting there? And then do you make a little vacation out of it too once you're out there?
Oh yeah. So I mean, Hawaii is the best place ever. It's my favorite place in the world. And I love going home. I love seeing my family and friends. I've been living in San Diego for, the last 12, 13 years, and so home is definitely calling me back. And I'm going to make the move back home pretty soon, permanently. But until then, yeah, I love fighting at home and like Hawaii is, I feel like they have the best fan base and support system out of anywhere. Actually, pretty comparable to Ireland. I feel like Ireland fans are really badass too. But Hawaii fans, man, they have your back no matter what. Like it did not matter that I lost my last fight in Hawaii. They did not care. They had my back. And so I just think that, yeah, fighting back home, it's a win-win no matter what for me. And yeah, I definitely stay a couple more days afterwards, just to decompress and hang out with my family. I don't get to hang out during fight week, you know, so I do take that extra few days to go and eat all the food and be happy.
All right, I just got one last thing now to close us out here today. So Bellator 186, that's a special day for the two of us. For me, that was the first ever MMA event that I ever covered ever, so I'll always remember it. You, of course, won the title that day, so a special moment for you. And I actually went back, I was working for a TV station in Pennsylvania at the time, and I pulled this clip up. It was a part of the interview. I want to play it for you. I'm going to show it to you off my phone. For the people watching at home, I'll be able to actually edit it and put it in. They'll be able to see a little bit bigger, but it's more to hear is the more important thing here. So,
you were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you. Yeah, that's my go-to song. But I've been feeling the Alanis Morissette lately, so I don't know, maybe I'll surprise people.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes, that's my shit. I love singing karaoke. I remember I was saying you were working at a restaurant. Yeah, yeah, in a cocktail bar when I met you. Yeah.
is that the plan for after the fight this time too? Go out and sing karaoke?
Oh, it always is. Yeah, I literally have like it's a little karaoke bar called Hibiscus Club and Shinsote that we go to after the fights to sing karaoke. So yes, that's 100% the plan.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thanks again for all the time today. I'm going to let you head out. Last thing before you head out for the day, though, social media so people know where to follow you at. If you have any management, sponsorships, anything like that you got to plug, floor is yours.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to plug my foundation. It's called Nawahine Toa Foundation, and it's a nonprofit that I created to help combat the missing and murdered Indigenous woman epidemic that it plagues North America. Actually, it's a global issue with Indigenous women facing the higher rates of violence out of any demographic. So I created this foundation. I work with Native communities and at-risk communities, teaching them self-defense. And anyway, right now, I'm actually wearing my fight shirt, which is available on my website, Ilima-Nator.com. And 100% of the proceeds goes towards my foundation to continue to work with these communities. So that's my plug. It's called Nawahine Toa Foundation, NWT. You can find my website, again, Ilima-Nator.com, ILIMANATOR.com for more information on that and how to purchase the shirts.